Hello students, welcome to the another session of Bridge course. I am Utkarsh Suryavanshi, Assistant Professor at AISSMS College of Hotel Management and Catering Technology, Pune. In this session, we are going to learn about greenhouse effect and climate change. The objectives of the session will be introduction, concept of greenhouse effect, to identify the causes of climate change, to recognize the effect of climate change, to explore possible solution to mitigate climate change, and summary. So let us go through headings one by one. Introduction. The greenhouse effect is a natural process that occurs when certain gases like carbon dioxide, nitrous oxide, and methane gets trapped into the Earth atmosphere and releases the heat. These gases are also known as greenhouse gases. In the atmosphere, some of this outgoing infrared radiation and re-radiation in all directions. The greenhouse effect is a natural and essential process which helps the maintaining the Earth's average temperature for the suitable functioning of life. Over the past century, the Earth's average temperature has risen by approximately 1 degree Celsius with significant implication for weather patterns, ecosystem, and sea levels. Let us understand the concept of greenhouse effect. The enhanced greenhouse effect contribute to the warming of Earth's surface and lower atmosphere temperature. The warming is caused by the greenhouse effect can trigger various feedback mechanisms that further amplify climate change. Due to the changing nature in temperature and atmospheric circulation patterns, it has resulted from the greenhouse effect, which can alter weather systems around the world. The greenhouse effect contributes to the thermal expansion of seawater and the melting of polar ice caps and glaciers, leading to rising sea levels. Understanding the greenhouse effect is very crucial for comprehending the mechanism driving the climate change. Now let us understand the various causes of climate change. First one, generating power. Second, manufacturing goods. Third, cutting down the forest. Fourth, using transportation. Fifth, powering buildings. And last, consuming too much. First one, generating power. As we all know, generating electricity and heat by burning fossil fuel cause a large chunk of global emissions. In most parts of the world, electricity is still generated by burning coal, oil, or gas, which produces carbon dioxide and nitrous oxide that blanket the Earth's surface and trap the sun's heat. Globally, a bit more than quarter of the electricity comes from wind, solar, and other renewable sources, as opposed to fossil fuel. In the last decade only, we have seen the misuse of fossil fuels on a large scale. Second, manufacturing goods. Most of the manufacturing and industry produce emissions mostly by burning fuels to produce energy for things like cement, iron, steel, electronics, plastics, and other goods. Mining and other industrial processes also release harmful gases in the atmosphere as compared to the construction industry. The machine used in manufacturing process often run on a coal, oil or gas, and some material like plastics are made from chemicals sourced from fossil fuel. The manufacturing industry is one of the largest contributors to greenhouse gas emission worldwide. Third, cutting down forest. Cutting down forest to create farms or pastures or for other reasons causes emission. Since trees, when they are cut, release the carbon they have been storing. If you take data, each year approximately 12 million hectares of forest are destroyed, which is a very big number. Since forest absorbs carbon dioxide, destroying them also limit nature's ability to keep emission out of the atmosphere. Deforestation, together along with agriculture and land use changes, is responsible for roughly a quarter of global greenhouse gas emission. Fourth, using transportation. In 21st century, we have seen the use of transportation has greatly emerged. Most cars, trucks, ships and planes run on fossil fuel. These medium makes the transportation a major contributor of greenhouse gases, especially carbon dioxide emissions. Road vehicles account for the largest part due to the combustion of petroleum-based products like gasoline in internal combustion engine. The emission from ships and planes are continuing to grow. Transport account for nearly one quarter of global energy related carbon dioxide emission, and trend points has seen a significant increase in energy use for transport over the coming years. The next will be powering buildings. Globally, residential and commercial buildings consume over half of all the electricity as they continue to draw coal, oil and natural gases for heating and cooling purposes. They emit significant quantities of greenhouse gas emissions. Growing energy demand for heating and cooling with the rising air conditioning ownership as well as increased electricity consumption for various lighting appliances and connected devices. It has contributed to a rise in energy related carbon dioxide emission from buildings in recent years. Next, consuming too much. Your home and use of power, how you move around, what you eat and how much you throw away, it all contribute to the greenhouse gas emission. So does the consumption of goods such as clothing, electronics and plastics. A large chunk of global greenhouse gas emissions are linked to private households. Our lifestyle have a profound impact on our planet. The wealthiest bear the greatest responsibility because 50% of the greenhouse emissions are from this background as compared to the poorest. Now let us understand the various effects of climate change. First will be hotter temperatures, severe storms, increased drought, a warming, rising ocean, loss of species and more health risks. Hotter temperatures. As greenhouse gas concentration rise, the global surface temperature over the last decade is the warmest on record. Since the 1980s, each decade has seen a warmer in terms of temperature than the previous ones. Nearly all land areas are seeing more hot days and heat waves. Higher temperatures increase heat related illness and make working outdoors more difficult. The temperature in the Arctic has at least warmed by twice as fast as the global average, and more of wildfires are getting emerged in 21st century. Next, severe storms. Destructive storms has taken a more intense and more frequent in many regions. As temperature rise, more moisture evaporate, which exacerbate extreme rainfall and flooding, causing more destructive storms. The frequency and extent of tropical storms is also affected by the warming ocean. Examples would be cyclones, hurricanes, and typhoon. Such storms often destroy homes and communities, causing death and huge economic impact or losses. Increased drought. Climate change is changing the water availability, making it much scarcer in more regions. There are various water shortages already in the various regions of the country. It has increased the risk of agricultural drought as well. It is affecting crops, and vulnerability of ecosystem is also there. Droughts can also stir destructive sand and dust storms that can move millions of tons of sand across the continent. Deserts are expanding. The land area for the growing of food is getting reduced, and many people do not have access to regular water on day-to-day basis. Next, a warming rising ocean. The ocean soaks up most of the heat from global warming. The rate at which the current temperature is warming, it has seen that all the depths of the ocean has seen a rise in temperature. As the ocean warms, its volume increases, and since the water expands, it gets warmer. Melting ice sheet, sea levels to the rise, and coastal and island communities are at risk. In addition, the ocean also absorbs carbon dioxide, keeping it from the atmosphere. But the more carbon dioxide absorption makes the ocean more acidic and is a very endangered threat for the marine life and coral reefs as well. The next effect will be loss of species. The climate change poses a risk on the survival of the species on land as well as ocean. Due to the increase in temperature, the risk has been increased in very much manner. Due to the climate change, the world is losing species 1,000 times greater than the other times if you see in a recorded human history. 1 million species are at risk, and it is becoming extinct in 21st century. Forest fire, extreme weather patterns, invasive pests and diseases has prevailed in these times. Some species will be able to relocate and survive, but other will not. Next, more health risk. Climate change is the single biggest health threat for humanity. Climate impacts harming health through air pollution, water pollution, extreme weather event, forced displacement, and others. Every year, environmental factors take the lives of around 13 million people in the world. Changing weather patterns are expanding diseases, and the increase and toll of death has also been emerged, which makes it very difficult for healthcare system to keep up. Now let us understand the solution to mitigate this climate change. First, we need to end our reliance on fossil fuel. If we want to do a climate change nowadays, the minimum consumption of fossil fuel is required, such as coal, oil, and other natural gases. Second solution will be greater energy efficiency. If you want to define energy efficiency in simple layman's term, it is referred as first fuel. After all, the more energy efficient our systems are, the less actual fuel we have to consume. For example, solar energy. Next, renewable energy sources. Transitioning from fossil fuel to clean energy is the key to winning the fight against the climate change. Fourth, sustainable transportation. Transportation accounts for the top source for greenhouse gas emissions. Eliminating pollution from billions of vehicles driving across the planet is essential to achieve net zero global emissions by 2050. A definite goal has been laid out in the 2015 Paris Climate Agreement. Next solution will be better forestry management and sustainable agriculture. Some of the strongest allies in the fight against climate change are our trees, plants, and soil that store massive amount of carbon at ground level or underground. Without the aid of these carbon sinks, life on Earth would be impossible. Now let us summarize the whole topic in 5 points. Greenhouse effect is a natural phenomena which is essential for maintaining Earth's temperature for a suitable life. The primary driver for contemporary climate change is the increase in greenhouse gas emissions. The changes pose a significant risk to human societies, economies, and natural environment. Strategies include reducing greenhouse gas emission through transitioning to renewable energy sources, improving energy efficiency, and protecting and restoring ecosystem. Public awareness, education, and collective action are crucial in fostering sustainable practices. Promoting environmental changes has led to equitable future, which will be a solution for climate change. Thank you.